Hello, my name is Nick Dinsmore, and I am former WWE superstar Eugene, and you are tuned in to Eugene Behind the Scenes. Please subscribe if you have not already, and if you have subscribed, please consider being a member. We're going to have some great lives upcoming. Today, I'm going to tell you a funny William Regal story. I'm going to debunk an urban legend about Shawn Michaels, and I'm going to tell you how Eugene pinned Triple H right in the middle of the ring live on Monday Night Raw. It was the day after SummerSlam 2004. You know, where Eugene wrestled Triple H the very next Monday. Monday Night Raw, London, Ontario, Canada. And Eugene wasn't on it. Why? Well, the office felt because Eugene drew so much heat the night before in Toronto, in Bizarro Land, where the fans turned on Eugene, that they were just going to go ahead and keep me off TV in London because they didn't know if the heat would rub off from Toronto the night before. So I was off. Didn't work on that Monday. But I still had a good time. I got to see all my friends. You know, I'm actually friends with 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. So London, Ontario, Canada is about an hour from Toronto. We were flying in and out of Toronto, so our hotel was in Toronto, and it's always nice to have a hotel 2 or 3 days in a row. So I was riding with William Regal. We left Monday Night Raw from London, Ontario. We drive the hour back to Toronto. Kind of a funny story. Well, not really funny, but it's a short one. I don't know. Hopefully you'll like it. We get back to the hotel. Regal knocks on my door. He says he's lost his passport. Can't find his passport. Looked all over his room. He's emptied his bag, checked out everything. We looked all through the car, and he was really worried because he was going to have to go to the British embassy to get a new passport. And who knows how long that would take? 2 weeks? A couple days? I have no idea. But he wouldn't be able to come back into the U.S. without his passport. And he was really freaking out. And we were almost getting ready to drive back to London, Ontario to the building to look anywhere when he looked in his other three-piece suit jacket. And there was his passport. I've never seen him so nervous in my life. The following Monday Night Raw came from Anaheim, California. It was August 23rd, 2004. Eugene was managing William Regal against Ric Flair, managed by Batista. Now, this was fallout from the SummerSlam match where Regal came down to the ring with the brass knucks and hit Flair as he tried to save Eugene, but he didn't make it, and Triple H pinned Eugene anyway. The match was exciting. Regal and Flair were awesome. Eugene just had a little bit on the outside where Batista attacked him, and Benoit came down and made the save long enough for Regal to get the brass knucks and knock out Ric Flair for the victory. I do remember one conversation backstage throughout the day that night, Monday Night Raw in Anaheim. It was myself, Lance Cade, Trevor Murdoch. We were all talking to Shawn Michaels. Anytime we got to sit around the learning tree of Shawn Michaels, we took advantage of it. And because Shawn Michaels trained Lance Cade and they were very good friends, we often got to speak with him. And he was telling the story, the urban legend, the match with Shawn Michaels against Steve Austin at WrestleMania with Mike Tyson at the ringside. And at the end of the match, everybody remembers Mike Tyson throws a punch and knocks Shawn Michaels out. Where the rumor, the urban legend used to be that everybody backstage thought Shawn wasn't going to go down on Mike Tyson's punch. They said Shawn had a bit of an attitude back then. Maybe he was attitude before attitude was a catchphrase. Ba-dum-ts. Anyway, the story was The Undertaker was going to knock Shawn out if he didn't take the bump for Mike Tyson. And The Undertaker was waiting for Shawn right behind Gorilla with the taped fist. And you know what that means. He's going to knock somebody out. Well, Shawn was talking about that he had heard this rumor. And he didn't know if it was true or not because he said he might have been a bit out of it back then. No judgment. But Shawn said that he went up to The Undertaker and asked him, said, "Mark, were you ready to knock me out with a taped fist?" Undertaker had no idea what he was talking about. So that urban legend is debunked by Shawn Michaels. I remember driving around in California before the Anaheim show. We went to the beach. We're looking at the ocean. We see all the yachts out there. Oh, they were beautiful. I started a yacht building business in my attic. Sales are going through the roof. The following week's Monday Night Raw, August 30th, 2004, came from the Cow Palace in San Francisco. And I remember pulling into the Cow Palace and looking at this legendary arena. I've read about this arena in all kinds of great battles, but the one that first came to mind was when I read Eddie Guerrero's book. And he talked about the night that he won the title from Brock Lesnar. It was in the Cow Palace. And I remember he said that the pre-sale was not that good for the advertised main event of challenger Eddie Guerrero against champion Brock Lesnar. And he was a little worried that his big main event wasn't going to draw a full house. But he said every Latino that could fit in the building showed up that night and bought a ticket, and it was sold out. And I remember that match was awesome. The crowd was insane, and I couldn't wait to get into the Cow Palace to take part of that legendary arena. Eugene and William Regal started off backstage, and I was wearing this Giants jersey right here, the Barry Bonds Giants jersey. And William Regal had taken Eugene to the Giants game the day before, and Eugene was so excited, and he was talking about baseball, but William Regal said Triple H was out to get me, and not to come out with him when he went out to the ring. So that gave a reason for Eugene not to be at ringside during Regal's match, because Eugene's match was a no DQ match against Triple H. And if you remember the story, this was after SummerSlam where Randy Orton won the world title. Randy Orton on Batista's shoulders. Triple H gives him the thumbs down. They turn on Randy. Well, Randy was getting his revenge this night on Triple H and Batista. So during this match, it was the main event of Raw, the last match. The match itself was short because all we really needed was the ending of the match. Eugene gets a little bit on Triple H, but Triple H pretty much dominates. And then Triple H put me in a sleeper hold. And I remember he's saying that he wanted to get the sleeper hold over and he was going to start using it as a hold. He used it this week and he used it the next week. I can't remember if he used it after that, so maybe it was just Eugene that got put to sleep by the sleeper. Either way, sleeper hold, Eugene's out, no DQ. Triple H goes to pin him, gets off of him. I'm not going to pin him like this. Gives him the pedigree, pins him again, gets off him. I'm not going to pin him like this. And he goes out and gets the sledgehammer. Eugene was unconscious in the middle of the ring. What's this guy going to do? And Randy makes the save. Randy back and forth with the sledgehammer. Eventually hits Triple H with the sledgehammer. Hits him with the RKO. Here comes Flair. Here comes Batista. He holds him off with a sledgehammer. And then Randy gives that little devilish grin and pulls an unconscious Eugene on top of Triple H. No DQ match. Referee says 1, 2, 3. Eugene pinned Triple H on Monday Night Raw. How many men have pinned Triple H on Monday Night Raw? I think it's less than 20. It might be less than 15, but you know what? Eugene is one of them. That night, Eugene got a victory in the Cow Palace over Triple H, and I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. And I was wearing my Giants jersey that day. And if you like this jersey, we might raffle it off. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you have subscribed, please think about being a member. I think we're going to raffle this Giants jersey off in an upcoming Members Live. Stay tuned. We're going to let you know. Let us know in the comments. Would you like to have this jersey raffled off? It says Barry Bonds on the back. I'll leave you with this. It's what you do with what you got, and are you really nice or not? If you're thoughtful and you're true, no one can compare with you. Thank you. My name is Eugene. I've been trying to kind of methodically go step by step, week by week, episode by episode of when Eugene was on Monday Night Raw. If you want to look back at some of our previous sequences, we can put that one right here somewhere. I learned a magic trick. Watch this. Hey, there it is. But if you want to look at some off-topic things, some other stuff, check out this one right here.